Hi, this is George Welty Myers III, talking to you from Columbus, Ohio on December 8th, 1996. And before I introduce what you're going to see here, I just wanted to tell you a little story. Several weeks ago in November, my grandmother, Beverly Myers, passed away, and my family was down at her home in Fort Myers, Florida for her memorial service. Afterward, we were all in that house, and she had a home full of all kinds of antiques and things from many years back, and we just wanted to take a look through some of that, see if we could find some pictures or other things to help remember her and other members of the family by my grandfather having passed away some 15 years ago. And while we were doing that, I happened to be sitting by this big wooden secretary, and I was looking at some pictures that were in it. And I looked in the bottom drawer, and I found an old cassette player there. I pulled it out, and as I looked, there was a cassette in it that was labeled Christmas, 1948 and 1949. And the cassette player didn't work, and there wasn't another cassette player in the house. I told everyone what I'd found, and the only cassette player we could find was in my brother Jim's car. So several of us went out there to see what was on this tape. When we got out there, we discovered that it was actually a recording of my grandfather, George III, at Christmas time, the day after Christmas in 1948. And all the members of the family were on this tape. I won't tell you too much about it because you'll actually hear that original recording in just a moment or two. But I wanted to let you know two reasons why you're seeing me here today. The first is that, as my grandfather did, we wanted to preserve this original recording of this tape in the most modern medium possible, which today is a compact disc and a VHS tape. I say as my grandfather did because you'll hear him first in 1968 when he took this from a wire recording that he had originally made up to probably a reel-to-reel, and he must have updated the tape at least once more to get it on cassette. So in that vein, we want to preserve this in the most modern medium possible. You know, I'm not sure what my grandfather might have been thinking when he originally did this, and I'm not sure he knew what kind of impact this was going to have on all the members of our family when we found this 48 years later. But it was pretty profound, and it certainly has me thinking, and I'm sure the rest of us, as we record this here, of what it might be like 48 years later and all of our descendants watching this. And I hope that our family continues the tradition of preserving this because it's pretty precious. That's the first reason. The second reason we're doing this is as a Christmas gift to my dad, George Myers IV. So without any further ado, Dad, Merry Christmas. And to any of you who might be watching at any point in the future on whatever medium you might happen to be viewing this on, Merry Christmas to you from 1996.
This is George Myers speaking, January the 12th, 1968. And I'm going to make a recording from two wire recordings made on December 26, 1948, January 1st and January 16th, 1949, and then another recording made the following day after Christmas, December 26th, 1949. The reason for taking these off on tape is that the wire recording equipment is about shot. Therefore, I wanted to get these onto a more modern tape to save in the event that anyone would be interested in them in the years to come. If there's any time left on the end of this, then I'll add some commentary to bring it up through the past 19 or 20 years. This is George Myers speaking, the day after Christmas, December 26, 1948, making a wire recording which was intended to have been made yesterday. However, the opportunity presented itself, although a good many members of the family were together at one time. I will attempt between now and the first of the year to obtain for a permanent recording all of the members of the family, including Beverly, my children, Kate and Jim Burkhart, as well as Dickie, Evelyn George Myers, Borky, Grandpa and Grandma Bernowski, and Evelyn and George's children. The wire recording equipment for this recording was given to Beverly and I this Christmas by Grandpa G.W. Christmas, insofar as I was concerned, and I believe for all of my family, was quite enjoyable. Beverly and I, between us, you might say, purchased for each other a new Jeepster, and we are both quite happy with it. Billy and Buddy received perhaps all of the gifts for which they had wished, and all in all, it was a very satisfactory Christmas. As is usual, there was a good deal of rushing about for the final preparations for yesterday. Apparently, everything was purchased, but still there were a few last-minute things to do. Christmas Eve, we passed out our gifts to the other members of the family, and spent the later portion of the evening with Evelyn and George Myers at their residence in the company of some of their children. Christmas morning, Billy, Buddy, and myself got together and delivered Buddy's paper route in order to expedite the opening of the Christmas presents. Beverly was awake when we returned, and after breakfast we immediately opened the presents, which in the main were for the boys, because Beverly and I did not feel necessary, after buying the car, to purchase each other additional gifts. As stated before, the boys were quite happy with their gifts. Grandpa and Grandma Bernowski were to spend Christmas Day with us here, and after visiting Kate, Jim, and Dickie in the morning, came up to the house about 11 o'clock, and we had a very enjoyable and, by the way, a well-cooked meal prepared by my wife about noon, and sat around and talked until Kate and Jim visited us later in the afternoon. From here, we all went out to Evelyn and George's house, spending a nice Christmas evening there, having a snack along about 6:30 to 7 o'clock, and after some more talking, each of the individual families departed for their homes. As is the custom at this time of the year, one is prone to review the past year, and in thinking about such matters, I find that insofar as my wife's family is concerned, it has been a more or less average year, with possibly one exception. There has been some sicknesses, one or two babies born, I believe, and another one on the way. Grandpa Bobrovsky was quite sick during the summertime, and found it necessary to visit the Cleveland Clinic in order to have a back operation, which was, as we now find out, highly successful. He was laid up for quite a while, but we are all looking forward to the day when he is absolutely normal again, and for my part, I see that coming quite soon. My part of the family is rather small now, having lost 3 people in the last year or so, Grandpa and Grandma Myers having passed away this last year. As far as my immediate family is concerned, we have had a good year. Earnings have been good, sickness has been minor, and all in all, everything was satisfactory. Beverly received some good news along the latter part of the year that her lung trouble, which has caused her some concern for the past 10 years, apparently has completely disappeared. The only major thing that occurred during the year in the way of sickness or health was Buddy's tonsillectomy, which turned out very nice. The kids have grown a lot this last year, and we are not anticipating with any zeal the days when they perhaps will leave us because Billy is reaching that age. It was my thought in leading off with this record to make a commentary more or less of what might follow. Each one of the people will have to say what they wish, not following any particular pattern. And I hope that each and every one of them will have something to say which perhaps we will all want to remember in the years to come. It probably will be difficult to get the men of the family to say too much, or maybe the children. However, following standard procedure, from past indications, it would not be too difficult to get any of the women to talk. The boys have been out skating this morning and have just returned. We are about to eat lunch, and I don't know whether they and Beverly will want to speak now, but we will see.
This is Bill Myers speaking December 26, 1948, and I believe that I've had a very enjoyable Christmas. I've received many of the presents I've hoped for and many more that I hadn't hoped for. I believe everyone in our family has had a very nice Christmas, and I think we've been very lucky this year. We haven't had much sickness. I myself, I don't believe I've had any trouble that I can remember. I can't think of anything much more to say because I'm not much good at talking, and I'll just rely on the proverb, little boys are to be seen and not heard.
This is Welty Myers speaking December 26, 1948. This year I have got most everything I've hoped for. Well, I wished for a BB gun, I've got that, and I got skates, which my father told about me going skating this morning, and I took a few flops, about 30. And, we were thinking of moving away this year maybe, and I don't know whether I'd like to go or not, because I've been born in this town, I've made many friends, and sometimes when you move into a new town, it's hard to make new friends. That's about all I can think of to say right now, but I do hope next year, when Christmas rolls around, that after Christmas I don't take quite as many flops on my skates.
This is Beverly Myers speaking December 26th. Having just finished lunch dishes, seems quite funny. Yesterday doing so many. But everything moved quite smoothly. Dinner was quite easy, having prepared most of it the evening before with the help of George. Yesterday was quite a happy day for me, considering the fact that my mother and dad were with us, and which may be that next year we will all be alone in Oregon, as I hope, and our day might be quite a calm one. Everything has run fairly smooth all the way through the holidays. Main thing for me was receiving the Jeepster, which was quite a present, of course. Hoping to use it quite a bit from now on, enjoying it very much. I guess the boys are going skating in a few minutes. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able, like most women, to hold up my end of the bargain. Don't care to talk too much, so we'll close now.
This is Grandma Bernowski
Grandma and Grandpa must keep talking. December the 30th from our home. Well, Grandpa, 1948 Christmas is come and gone, and we had a very nice time.
I'll say we did, and we got a lot to be thankful. We got more for Christmas this year than we ever got. And we have so much to thank everybody for, especially myself. What do you think?
Well, I think about the same. I think our dishes are beautiful. Our cooker looks like we ought to be able to cook a pretty good dinner. And our blankets ought to keep us warm.
Yes, all that stuff looks good, and we'll get a lot of good use out of it, too. Of course, as for myself, I got an awful bum rap this summer. But I'm commencing to feel tops, and I'm commencing to take in a little folding money, which really makes me feel on top. And if I can keep that up, it ought to make you feel better, too.
Well, we ought to have our new home in the spring, I hope.
Yes, if we can do that. If everything goes all right, we're going to be in a bungalow. And on the street, well, I'm sure you'll like it there because it's close to your favorite bus line here.
Well, and so and we had a wonderful Christmas. We had a wonderful day at Ben's. We got started early. We ate breakfast at Jim and Kate's and watched Dickie open his presents. We were up to Beverly's and had a very lovely dinner and spent the afternoon very enjoyable. And from there we journeyed to Evelyn's and had our supper. And after about 9 o'clock we left and come home, and we thought we had a wonderful day. What do you think about that?
I think the same, only you didn't say half enough about that dinner, because I eat enough that lasts me all day. Then you come and bring out the pie, yet I couldn't even look the pie in the face.
Well, it sure was swell. So I guess that'll be all for this time. Well, and a Happy New Year to everybody.
And I'll say the same, a Happy New Year, and many of them, for all that's here in the whole family.
This is book for 1949. I got the electric train. I had a very nice Christmas. And I had a pool day. And I got a bicycle. I wish I had a BB gun that other Christmas. I hope everything be all right when I get my mad noise out. I've lost more Christmases, and I hope everybody have a Happy New Year, and like I did. This is Dickie Burkhart speaking on January the 16th, Grandpa's birthday. Huh?
Go ahead.
I don't know what to sing. I want to sing Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to dear Grandpa. Happy birthday to you. I had a nice big Christmas. I got a football suit and a big tow truck. A truck and a tractor pushes dirt. What else did I get?
you must have got something else.
I got a Jeep with the banana, and I got sweatpants with a zipper, and I got a pair of stockings, and...
You get a football suit?
Yeah, I told him that.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear you say that.
And I got a couple sweaters.
Is that about all?
And a racer set.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a pretty Christmas tree?
I had a pretty Christmas tree. So I want my holy night. All is calm, all is bright. Round young birds in the rancho. Holy and so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Well, this is the last of the family tree, the Burkharts. We just had a big dinner Kate is capable of doing for Grandpa Bernowski's birthday. He's past 40 now, but we don't know how much. Right after dinner, we had a little excitement next door. They're trying to catch a rabbit in their garden, and instead they got a rat. So we tried to kill it, but it was smarter than we, so it's still running. Well, it's been a year now since we broadcasted from Canton. You're probably out where it's nice and warm, and maybe you're glad you're there. But hope you're having a lot of success. And imagine conditions a year from today be a lot different than they were back in Canton. We'll hope they're still fair enough, though. We hope the year to come is as good as the one past. Financially, we've come out pretty good. No addition to the family, thank goodness. And Santa Claus was pretty good to us this year, and compared to the last few years, Dickie's been pretty healthy. No doctor bills. Kate gets a little heavier, but she's always going to reduce next week. And so maybe next week will be it. I wish George and Bev a lot of success out there, and hope they get in the movies, or some of their children, and hope we can come out sometime with Dickie playing in the Rose Bowl game. We had a little demonstration of it here this afternoon, his new football suit. He got through the line pretty good, but got a couple bumps. Well, that's about all for now. I hope to see you out in California or Oregon or someplace out in the West the next few years.
Well, this is Kate Burkhart. I don't know why I always seem to be bringing up the tail end, but I guess I'm the last one to talk on this recording. It's quite a ways past Christmas, so I'm a little out of the Christmas spirit, but we had a lovely Christmas and a good year in '48. This is January the 16th, Grandpa's birthday. We just finished eating our dinner, and we're all quite full and not much in the mood for talking. But Grandpa is feeling just about his normal self again. It was just a year or 6 months yesterday since his operation. Of course, 6 months ago, right now, he wasn't feeling too good. Grandma and I was up in Cleveland with Grandpa, and of course we were a little on the nervous side too. But everything come out just fine, and we hope that in another year, why, he'll really be stronger than he ever was. Dickie has developed quite a bit in the last year. I think he's grown about 3 inches. He's getting ornerier than ever, I know that. Everybody has been wishing and hoping that George and Bev and the children have a lot of luck out on the coast, so that goes without saying. I don't think I need to repeat what the rest have already said, probably better than I could say it anyways. But I hope that in another year or so, we might get to go out and visit with them. I know it would be a lovely trip. All we need to do is save our money. That's a problem sometimes. I believe that's about all there is for me to say, and as I only had a few minutes to talk, I was warned ahead of time I better kind of sign off now. So here's hoping everybody has as nice a Christmas next year as we had this last year, and that we have very little or no sicknesses, and everybody has a lot of luck in the new year.
Hi, this is George Myers V, and
This is Christina Myers.
And, well, we were trying to think of anything that really happened this year. It was kind of a boring year, not much really happened.
Not really. Not a whole lot going on. I don't know. Well, I guess, we got engaged and
Right,
then we got married.
right. There's that. You're married. What else happened? Let's see. We built a house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then stuff with the marriage. We took 2 weeks and planned a trip up to New England. We did that.
Mm-hmm. And then the reception.
Right, we had the reception, and there's about 100 people there. We planned for that. Let's see, your business. You started a business at the end of last year, so I've been going through that this year.
You got a promotion.
Right, I got that. Got a promotion, and so I'm a lot busier now, Director of Operations now at my company at Casting and Software. Let's see, what else? Had Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
Had
First
people
one at the
over.
house.
First
Yes.
one ever at the house here. Of course, we lost Grandma, but that might have been a positive in a lot of ways too, because probably made us think a lot more about the family and prompted us to do some research. So
That's true.
there's another member of the family there. I don't know if you can see this guy, Bogart.
Say hi, Bogart.
We've got another one running around here somewhere, but she's a little more shy. Her name's Ellie. So, I don't know, all in all, kind of a boring year.
Pretty dull.
Merry Christmas there, Dad.
Merry Christmas.
Hi, Dad. Merry Christmas. It's 1996, and we're just going to continue on with what George and Chris were saying. For us, this has been a huge year. After being married for 5 years, we decided to take the plunge and have a baby. And we had Courtney, and I think you knew we were expecting a boy the whole time, and we've had her, and have just been thrilled. I can't imagine having a boy at this point. For me, the biggest change or biggest thing that happened in my life this year was quitting work. I quit in September right before she was born, and I had a lot of questions about it beforehand, whether I'd want to do it or not, but now that I've had her, I can't imagine leaving her with anyone. I've just really enjoyed being with her and watching her grow and change every day. She's smiling now, and you've seen the videos of us trying to get her to smile. The other major thing that happened was Grandma Myers passing away, and we all went down there and had a fun time as a family down there. Under the circumstances, it wasn't the best circumstances, but we did have a nice time with the family. I think you'd agree. And I think that's about it for me.
Well, Merry Christmas. Must be Christmas morning right now, so I hope Santa was good to you this year. I know you always bring us some pretty unique gifts, and so we hopefully this will be kind of a unique one for you two, one that'll be memorable and that you'll cherish for a long time. It was neat to find the cassette of Grandpa Myers, and it didn't take us long to get this idea, and so hopefully it'll turn out real good for you. Of course, the big thing for us this year was Courtney. We found out about her in January, and we kind of wondered all year if it was going to be a boy or if it was going to be a girl, what the baby would look like. It was kind of a fun time of just doing a little speculating and just wondering, and better than we could have ever imagined she turned out. And we're happy to have a little girl, and she's just as sweet as can be. She's a real good-natured little daughter, and lots of smiles, and just brought lots of added joy to our home. We're thankful for that. And the other big news for me personally was turning 30 this year. I'm in the 30 and above crowd now. Left Jeanette way behind. She's still very young.
Way behind.
But so that was kind of a couple milestones this year. A new baby and turning 30 all in the same year. It was kind of a big year for us. But other than that, we hope this is a fabulous year for you. Hopefully you'll have some added time to spend with your new granddaughter sometime later on this year.
She did want me to say that she's looking forward to watching the movies you've already bought for her.
Oh, yes.
The movie library.
Yes, very much. We kind of told her about it, so sorry you didn't get a chance to break the news to her or anything. But so Merry Christmas. We hope this is a great year for you. And I guess that's about it.
That's it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey Dad, this is Michelle. Guess what? Your eldest daughter. It is November 23rd, 1996, and this is your Christmas present. I hope you like it. Anyways, a lot of things, as Tommy has said, have happened this year. Not very interesting, but I started school again. Steve and I have a new place right down the street, and I don't know what else I want to say other than Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and good morning, Dad. Hope everything's been good this morning. Let's see what kind of year we had. It's been a pretty good year for me. Switched jobs, making a little bit extra money here. Been able to get caught up and actually get back into school, which has been a big thing for me. That's been really exciting. Got through my first quarter, did pretty well. Got 2 A's and a C, which is a 3.54, and actually that's an honor roll. Yes, really happy about that. A lot of other things have been happening. George and Christina finally decided to get married. That's great. Went up to Ohio and saw them, and we all had a great time. You were there. That was a blast. And then, of course, Courtney, new addition to the family there. That's a great thing. We're looking forward to her being a little more into the Christmas thing next year, maybe. We'll see how that goes. But other than that, it's been pretty uneventful for me. I haven't had any big problems or anything. I guess school's been my main focus and will be for the next couple of years. So I guess I'll just say Merry Christmas and have a good one.
Hello, this is Christy. This is November 23rd, 1996. And in the case that any children of mine or grandchildren ever get a hold of this, be kind to your mother. Well, I guess if you're wondering, Dad, Tim and Tom and Michelle and I were the friends that Jimmy had over and we couldn't come over. And it was us. I don't know what else to say, but Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a Happy New Year.
Hi, Dad. This is Tim. You probably already know exactly what day it is, and you know what year and everything. So, just wanted to say I hope you have a very satisfactory Christmas, and that you get everything that you wanted, and plus, you know, more things that you didn't even wish for. And that I'll just say thank you already for my Christmas present, and I'm done.
Hi, Dad. Merry Christmas. It's November 23rd, 1996. This is your son, Tom. Many things have happened past year. I became an uncle. I'm able to drive legally. I'm in 10th grade. I really don't know what I want for Christmas. I want a car. But other than that, I don't know. And it's not.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright.